Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, totally.
Okay, I'm sorry. I think I accidentally toggled my voice off.
Well,
Let me
it's
start
okay.
again. Welcome to my session. I'm Greg in real life and Francisco Koolhoven in Second Life, but I just go by Fran here.
Uh-oh.
Oops.
Did your sound go off again?
I'm sorry. Hold on. What's going on? Well, I'm sorry. I was hearing myself talking back, and I'm not exactly sure why. Okay. Let me just start from scratch. How about that?
Perfect.
Let's try this one more time. Some of that might have been me too. Still I'm hearing myself. I'm not sure why I'm hearing myself. That's what's freaking me out. Okay. Oh, you know what? I did because I wanted to get you're right. I wanted to get the URL to give to somebody else, and I forgot to close it. All right. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Well, I already pasted my first intro into chat, so you know who I am. It's going to be basically more of a class, I think, than a presentation, because that's what I usually do. This is the first time I've tried to do anything for a program like this, especially VWBPE. So forgive any scuff. I've never been an academic educator myself. But I've been a part of the educational community in Second Life for most of my life. And like most of us, I'm a lifelong learner. I'm always excited each year when this conference rolls around, the virtual world's best practices in education, because it gives me an opportunity to hear from some great minds who've studied and analyzed the ways that education can be enhanced by the technologies available today. While the presentations given at the conference are filled with great material that is invaluable, the fact remains that it happens totally within the realm of Second Life, meaning that you normally would have to be logged in here to attend. And one way, obviously, that we get around this is through live streaming and through our YouTube channel, which posts the recordings. This expands the scope to include a much wider audience. Viewers no longer need to be logged into Second Life to participate. Instead, they can watch and listen directly through a web browser. With YouTube's recent addition of automatic closed captioning, this provides an important accessibility benefit for the hearing impaired. I think I forgot to advance my slide a minute ago. Oh, no, I didn't. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, I'm going to start out by showing you what happens behind the scenes at VWBPE. But after that, I'll be talking about the steps that any one of you can use to set up your own live stream from your own YouTube channel, if you're interested in doing that at some point. I also want to mention before getting started that you can later access the material I'm covering here by going to my website at the address shown in chat. Also, if you want to click this red box that I put out, it just gives you a very basic note card that has that address in it. So you might want to have that for later. Okay, we'll talk about capturing what gives you an error. The URL that I put in the box of the website It should be all right. We'll worry about it later, okay? Yeah, that should be the right URL. I may have had an error when I typed it in. I'm not sure. Okay, we're going to start out by capturing the screen. Video capture software used by members of the stream team, both for live streaming and recording video, is OBS Studio. It's an open source and free to use package from obsproject.com. It's available for all operating systems, Windows, Mac OS, Linux distributions, and even free BSD if you have that. OBS is short for Open Broadcast Software. It can be used for streaming to many other platforms besides YouTube, including Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Okay, now we're going to do a brief overview of how live streaming works at VWBPE. And thanks to Windows Copilot for helping me to generate this image. This slide shows the steps in the live streaming process at a very general level. The streamer sets up their OBS software so that it captures the output of their second live screen. The OBS software then sends the video and audio to YouTube along with a predetermined stream key. That tells YouTube which stream this video goes with. Anyone watching that live URL will then see the same thing that the streamer sees. Once the streamer tells OBS to stop sending the video being sent to it, the URL will stop broadcasting. There are many other things going on, but this is just the basic process. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about the roles and responsibilities within the process of streaming. And everything I'm talking about here in this session will be based on the way that live streaming is handled by YouTube, and specifically the way that we do it for VWBPE. There are two distinct roles involved in setting up a live stream. There's the stream administrator, and then there's the broadcaster, or the streamer. The stream administrator is the one who handles all aspects of the stream other than the actual screen capture. And for the conference, Kevin Feenan, or Phelan Coramon SL, is the one who oversees this. And here are some of the duties of the stream administrator. They create the stream on YouTube, either from scratch or by copying the settings that were used from a prior stream. They provide a title and description for the stream. They provide a thumbnail image to display. They provide a starting date and time for the stream. And determines the individual stream settings to be used, such as whether they're including closed captions or other things related to the stream. They record the stream key that is generated automatically during this process, and then provides it to the broadcaster prior to the live stream. If the stream was created using a prior stream settings, then the stream key will be the same as the one that was previously created, unless you decide to regenerate it, which is possible too. The stream administrator also monitors the quality of the video and audio transmission using the live control room in YouTube Studio before making the broadcast go live. And I'll show you how this works in a few minutes. Okay, moving on to the broadcaster or the streamer. That's obviously the person who uses streaming software on their computer to capture the video and audio that needs to be broadcast and recorded. In the settings of their streaming software, which in our case is OBS, they'll supply the stream key, which is given to them by the stream administrator. The stream key is all that's needed to tell YouTube that this particular broadcast should be displayed at a particular YouTube URL. And there can only be one broadcaster per live stream, meaning that only one person can use a particular stream key at a time. In addition to sending the video to YouTube, the broadcaster's OBS is also set up to record the session locally on their computer. This recording will later be sent to the administrator for use in creating a final edited video that will later be posted on the VWBPE channel. Okay, and here's the screen that the stream administrator is checking just before a live stream is scheduled to start. This is the live stream control room that I mentioned earlier inside YouTube Studio. At around maybe 5 to 10 minutes before it's time for a stream to go live, the administrator tells the broadcaster to start streaming, which they do by clicking the Start Streaming button inside OBS. This begins transmitting the video and audio to YouTube, which will appear on the preview window as shown in the slide. At this point, the video is not yet live. It's only being seen on this preview. To make the stream live, the administrator then has to click the Go Live button, which is at the top right of the screen. Once the stream is live, the administrator can also see chat coming in from users in the right-hand panel and can respond by typing in the box below it. At the end of the session, the administrator clicks the End Stream button that appears at the top of the live stream control room. That's in place of where the Go Live button currently is, that arrow is pointing to. Although only one person can live stream at a venue, it is possible, and in fact, that's what we do. We have more than one person there. We have someone who's there just as a record a backup. For each session, we have one person that both broadcasts and records, and then a backup person who records only. And later, Kevin will take the recordings from both of these, put them together, and create a final edited version that will be posted on the YouTube channel for everybody to see. The stream administrator and broadcaster are two distinct roles, and for VWBPE, they are handled by different individuals, like I just explained. But there's no reason they can't be the same person. So if you're doing a live stream of your own on your own YouTube channel, you'll probably be the one who does both. You both will set up the stream and you'll be doing the broadcast. So I'm going to go over some of the steps you need to go through in that. In fact, I'll go through it in quite detail, what you would need to do to that here in a few minutes. As you know, your second live screen contains a lot of different other information besides just your view of the world. There's the main menu bar, the buttons at the bottom, the chat windows, many other miscellaneous things that clutter up your view. And they're all really things that you need when you're working in world. But you normally don't want them to show up on a video or a live broadcast. And there are several ways to get around this. And one way is what you see on the slide here. There are two toggles that you can use in Second Life to hide everything. Control-Alt-F1 will hide most aspects of your Second Life interface, the menu bar, the chat windows, the dialogues, buttons, the name tags, voice dots, anything that you normally, would consider extra that you don't want to see. It does not hide the HUDs, however. There's another command, Alt-Shift-H, that does that. So pressing both of those combinations one at a time will hide everything and give you a completely clear screen. And then you can click them again, the same thing, Control-Alt-F1 and Alt-Shift-H. The second time will show everything again. And this method is great if you're just working by yourself and want to record the entire screen and aren't concerned about losing access to chat windows, that sort of thing. And if you've never heard of these toggles before, you might want to try them out later, but I suggest you write them down first just so you don't forget, because once you lose your interface, you can panic if you can't remember how to get it back. And unfortunately, this method won't work most of the time for us, what we're doing at VWBPE in a conference situation where we're working with other people. Because it essentially forces you to work blind. So it doesn't work well that way. You need team communication. You need to, by hiding the interface, we wouldn't be able to exchange messages with each other, at least through Second Life. Stream team members couldn't make others aware of problems they may be having or find out about scheduling changes. If someone in the audience has their mic on and we need to mute them, as the streamer, we wouldn't be able to see who it is. So there's a lot of considerations here. So a different approach really was called for. And what I'm going to describe now is the method that most of the stream team is currently using. And I say most because some might use multiple screens, and I know some do, or have adopted other methods to accomplish a lot of the same things. But the way I'm about to describe works very well for anyone using a single monitor, and it's the method that we suggest for most stream members to use, at least starting out. So first, we make use of a camera frame HUD to limit the viewable area to the rectangular portion of your screen. That leaves the remainder of the screen free for you to display other windows, such as nearby chat, IMs, nearby voice, whatever else you think you need. The frame HUD is strategically placed near the upper left of the screen so that it will not be interrupted by pop-up dialog boxes. Second, we use a different HUD, a second HUD, for controlling the position of your camera. The one that most team members have been using is called the Club Camera Maxi, and it's available in the marketplace. And I do, if you go to the link that I gave you earlier, there's a link to that as well, if you want to get it yourself. It has 20 buttons that can be individually programmed to focus on different areas, such as the speaker's podium, the slides, or the audience. It's a valuable tool for producing a video that needs to shift between different views. Also, members of this, it is pretty awesome. I love it. Also, members of the stream team adjust their Second Life preferences to hide certain unwanted visual elements. Examples of these are the names over avatars' heads, voice dots, and green bars that appear above the avatar when they're speaking. Also, floating text over objects or avatars, and unneeded particle emissions. And these are all things that you can hide through preferences in Second Life. As this slide shows what our Second Life screen looks like when using this setup. OBS has been set up to only broadcast what is inside of that green rectangle. So then we line up our shots and save camera angles based on that. Now that pretty much covers everything I wanted to talk about regarding how we do it live streaming here at VWBPE. I'll just briefly mention the post-processing that happens. At the end of each session, the stream team members who took part in the session will each have recordings that they've made. They'll then upload these videos to a Google folder that has been set up for us to use. And the administrator, Kevin, will retrieve them and then edit them as needed, and then we'll post them to the VWBPE YouTube channel. Once he's done with them, he puts them in a different folder so we know he's done, and we can actually delete them off of our Google folders. Okay. So the rest of this session, I'm going to just talk about how to set up your own live stream. Now, the slides may go through these kind of quickly. If you go to that link I gave you earlier, I've made a little video of these slides that will take you through the whole process, so you can follow that along later. But this is just for the purposes of today's class, so you can see the process. And it's really actually quite easy to set up your own live streams. You do have to have an account with YouTube to do this. And so you have to sign into that. And like I said, I've got a little video that you can see, you'll watch later. Yeah, your YouTube account usually is a Google account. That's because Google does own YouTube now, so it should work. Okay, so you start, as in the slide that's currently being shown, you start by going to youtube.com and then sign in if you haven't already. I've kind of blurred out some of the images just for privacy. But just click on the account's channel icon, which shows up at the upper right. And it's got whatever picture you've assigned to it, usually be your channel logo. Okay, then click on the drop-down menu, click on YouTube Studio. Okay, then click, you don't have to do this necessarily, but I always like to click on the Content tab, just so you can see all of your current videos. It's kind of like your home screen. It's a good place to be, but it is an optional step. Okay, then next to the channel icon, there should be a Create button there. If you click that, then you get a drop-down menu. There should be an option that says Go Live. So click that. You're not actually going live at this point. You're still just setting up. Next screen shows any upcoming streams that you may have. In this case, there's none that are scheduled. If this is your first time going live, you may get some kind of a wizard popping up that prompts you for a couple things, but especially asking you whether you're going to use a webcam or using streaming software. If it does, just kind of look at them and use a common sense approach to answering them. Okay, after that, you should be at this point. You should, if you want to schedule a new stream, there's a button up there that says schedule stream. So just click that. Okay, first thing, you're just going to give your stream a title and description. And this will appear in the listings for your live stream, just as they would appear for any other video. Okay, then you're going to start scrolling down through the options. Under the how do you want to go live, you can choose your webcam or streaming software. In this case, we're going to say streaming software because we're going to use OBS for this. But obviously, if you're doing your own live stream, it's up to you how you want to do it. But we're going to go through the process of using OBS in this example. Okay, now you want to choose an appropriate category for your live stream. This is going to depend on the subject matter of the live stream and your intended audience. In this case, I'm just going to choose people and blogs. Of course, if you're doing this for the conference, it's going to be education. And next, you're going to want to upload a thumbnail image from your computer. And it's going to be the image that's going to display for the video once it gets, or what the live stream, to represent the live stream when you go to that URL before it gets started. And this can be a screenshot or a full title card. And I'm just going to skip it for this demo, and we'll see what happens. And you may have playlists set up on your channel, and these are collections of videos that you group under a single name. And this is the spot where you can select a playlist where you want to add this live stream video. And you can choose more than one from the list if you have more than one playlist set up, or you can create a brand new playlist when you click on that icon. It gives you that option as well. Okay, so we're going to leave everything else the way it is and just move to the next screen. And this screen, it has some options about live chat and some other things. We're just going to leave it the same for now. You can look at the options later when you're actually setting this up and decide if it's something you want to deal with. And this is the final screen of the setup. Here's where you choose whether you want your live stream to be private, unlisted, or public. And with private, then if you make your live stream private, that means you're going to have to provide a list of email addresses. I believe I've not actually tried this before, but you have to tell YouTube how to set it up. Who to give access to. So it's very restricted. If you make it unlisted, that means it's going to actually be out there for anybody to see, and if they have the link, they'll be able to watch it, but they're not going to be told about it. So, and they won't see it in search, I don't believe. It won't be, they won't receive notifications about it if you're subscribed. Public is just what public means. Everybody can see it, and you tell the whole world about it. So most of the time you'll probably choose public here, but that's up to you. That's what I've done here. So they just click the appropriate box and then click done. And YouTube's now going to take you to the live stream control room. And this is where we were a little while ago. And as the stream administrator, that you're now going to be able to see a preview of the live stream once it begins. And for right now, it's where we're going to learn what the screen key for the live stream will be. And you do that by clicking the button that's labeled Learn How to Use Encoders. this is a fairly recent change that YouTube made, and it's very confusing to me why they did it this way, but that's the way that you actually look at the stream key now. So once you click that, stream key will appear in that box in a encoded form, just asterisks. Just press the eye icon to the right of it, and that'll display it. And then you can see that the key is just a random set of letters and numbers separated by dashes. And and you want to be sure to keep this key. Don't give this key out to anybody other than the ones that you want to use it, because anybody who has it, if you have a live stream scheduled using that key, they can start a live stream with it themselves. So, but anyway, click the copy button next to the stream key to copy it to your clipboard, because we're going to use it. What we're going to do next is going to open some kind of a notepad or something and just paste it into there. That's what I suggest, at least. You can paste it anywhere you can paste text. But just put it somewhere that you can get back to it later, because you're going to need it when you set up the OBS. Okay, now, I think, did I say to just, okay, yeah, I'm sorry, just scroll down a little bit more in the stream settings. I think I'm not sure if I might have needed to say to close that other screen or not, but I'll look at that later. To scroll down in the stream settings, you'll see two settings called Enable Auto Start and Enable Auto Stop. And it's up to you whether or not you want to use these. If you turn them on, then the broadcast will go live as soon as you start streaming from OBS. And that's not generally the way we do it here. As I explained earlier, we get a preview screen, and then Kevin actually starts the stream manually by clicking Go Live. But if you want it to start automatically when you start OBS, then you can do it that way. And I think the end stream button I think is good. You have to use that regardless, but I'll show you that later. Okay, scroll down a little bit more. And then until you get to closed captions, and this is always a good idea to turn on. Once the broadcast begins, YouTube will automatically use this to generate captions on screen for your viewers. Yeah, especially with we're very big on accessibility here, so I think it's something we want to encourage everyone to do. Okay, now you can just exit the control room by clicking that little left arrow up there in the upper left corner. Okay, you'll now see a new entry in under the live section. Oh yes, absolutely. You can edit the captions later. It's not always, I've not done it too often, but it is something that you can do. And you can actually create a caption file and replace the captions with that if you format it correctly. Okay, so you'll see a new entry for the live stream we just created. Now, notice that there's an image showing, even though I didn't provide a thumbnail. What it's doing there is my YouTube channel has a banner, and it's taking the banner image and using that for the thumbnail. So that's, oh, and yes, Beth, they don't the captions don't come up immediately. I have actually, I haven't had to wait a day or two. I've had to wait maybe 30 minutes or so, but they are there is a delay on that. Okay. Well, the live streaming captions, I think, are temporary. They think they go away as soon as the live stream's done. So that so after the live stream's ended, you have to wait on YouTube to generate its own captions, and that there is a delay on that. Okay, let's see. Okay, we're gonna click the three dots that are next to the description of your video and click Get Shareable Link. This is the live stream URL that it's going to be using. So you copy that into your clipboard here. Then what I'm doing here is I'm opening another window in my browser, and I'm going to paste that link that I just copied. And so now this is what the live stream will look like before it starts. You'll have the thumbnail image, and then down in the lower left, there's a countdown timer for when it's going to start, based on when you told what date and time you said you wanted it to start. Along with the button, they can click. You can click if you want to be notified of when you want they go. It's a button that anybody can click if they go to this URL if they want to be notified when the stream goes live. And I should mention too, when you're setting up a stream and with dates, and you say the date and the time of the stream, it's going to be in your local time. So you don't have to worry about translating it to, when I set up live streams for VWEC, I set them up as, I'm in Eastern, and so I just set them up in Eastern. And it translates it automatically for anybody else. Okay, now we're going to move to OBS. I'll just run through the main steps needed to get it going before the live stream. I'm not covering everything. It's only going to touch on a few of the most important settings. Start by clicking the settings button at the bottom right. And you're going to start out on the General tab. Make sure the box automatically record when streaming is checked. This is a recommended setting. That way, whenever you start streaming, it will automatically also create a backup recording on your computer. Move down to the Stream tab. These tabs are along the left side. So go down to the Stream tab and make sure service is set to YouTube RTMPS, and it should be by default. Go down and click the box that says Use Stream Key Advanced. OBS tries to tell you that you need to connect your software to your YouTube account, and I know you can do that, but it's really not necessary. The stream keys seem to be a pretty efficient way to handle it, and it allows you to have other people besides yourself doing the streaming without logging into your account. Okay, then once you're, excuse me, after you click that, then click the show button that will show the stream key that's there, which if it's the first time in, it's going to be blank. But just paste, now at this point, paste in the stream key that you copied earlier from YouTube Studio. Then click Apply at the bottom. So that's how you're going to link your OBS to the stream. Then move down to the Output tab, select Recording Paths or set the recording path to whatever folder you want to store your recorded videos. And also set the recording format to MKV, which is Matroiska. If there's MP4 and there's MKV, if your computer will crash during a live stream, if your computer loses power or if your software just crashes or whatever, then whatever you've recorded up to that point, if you're using MP4, you'll lose the recording. If you do it in MKV format, it will keep everything that has been done up to that point. And OBS has a way, after you're done, you can, it has what's called a remux feature that you can use to convert the MKV to MP4, which is a more standard format, or you can leave it as MKV, either way. Okay, on the video tab, it's best to set both base and output resolutions to 1920 by 1080 if possible, to get the maximum resolution. So set the FPS or frames per second to 30. And this will work even if you have your SL client configured for higher FPS. And click OK to finish. When you're ready to start streaming, just press the Start Streaming button. This will begin sending your video audio feed to YouTube, as well as start recording a local copy on your computer. If you had not enabled Auto Start earlier in YouTube Studio, then you'll need to switch back briefly to YouTube's live stream control panel, or control room. And you really should be there anyway during the broadcast. But so just to do this, go back to YouTube Studio and then click the Create and Go Live icon again. Then there's your live stream. So just click on the icon itself at this point, and that'll take you to the YouTube control room. Here you're going to see a preview of what OBS is broadcasting. And again, if you had enabled Auto Start, it's already going to be broadcasting. But if you hadn't, you'll have a Go Live button up there, and you'll want to press that to actually make it live. So that's all you need to know about that. Okay, then switching back over to OBS again, when you're finished streaming, just click the Stop Streaming button. And the Stop Streaming button appears in place of where it said Start Streaming before. And if you notice, it's in a blue color. So clicking that will also stop the recording, since the way we've configured the settings. And we'll go back to saying Start Streaming again. And finally, go back to the live stream control panel and click the End Stream button at the top right. And I found this is necessary regardless of whether you set Enable Auto Stop or not. So I don't even know why they have that option. And that's all I've got today, folks. So you can access material later if you, at my webpage that I put in chat, try it out. And if you have questions later, let me know. Thanks for coming, and hope you enjoy the rest of the conference. And yes, I think, Lisa, I did see that from you earlier, or at least I saw the first one, that I think the first link I posted had left off the 2020, out of the 2026, so.
It's also in your red box.
It is? Okay. Well, I need to change that. Sorry about that. I did this at the very last minute, so.
Oh, this is a wonderful presentation. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Learned a
Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it.
Learned a lot.
Okay, yeah, I've corrected it in the note card if you want to take another copy of that. Great. Well, I had fun talking about it. I'm hoping it wasn't too boring for you. But I figured it's something that people
Not boring.
at least need to know they've got the option to do it if they want to do it.
No, not
Oh.
boring.
Good. I'm so
I
glad
had
to
no
hear it.
idea. I had no idea what all was involved in this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do it all the time anymore. I do the expert series live streams for VWBPE, so I've kind of had to learn how to do it.
That's awesome.
And it's just something. Once I know how to do something, I like to share it with others.
You do a good job.
Yeah, thank you. Is it easy for the backup recorder? Meaning what, Hypatia? Is it easy for them to? The other person is just recording, so it's not as much involved. It's going to be the same steps in OBS. They're going to start their OBS and they're just going to click start record rather than start stream. So it's going to save a copy on their computer, but it's not going to be streaming it to YouTube or to wherever. So, but other than that, yeah, it's identical what they need. They still use OBS, right? Yeah, there's I didn't want to go into that in this particular class as far as camera angles and all that, but that's another class. I just kind of do it by my own judgment when I set them up. I don't really have a video out about that. The video that I have posted at that URL is basically the slides that I just went through in more of a motion, in movie format. But I think that would be a good thing to talk about. And I just haven't put together a class on that. So, okay, well, that's noted. I will take that into account. Did everybody get the slides that wanted? Get the note card that wanted it? Okay, I'm done here. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much. It was really
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
You're so welcome.